The ultimate, by the way, guys, your goal should be to close the meeting. Right? How do you close the meeting? Do 10 by 10. 10 by 10. You close the meeting. All right. So if you guys can give it up for the unstoppable, the unbelievable, the relentless coach out of this office, the most disciplined person you will ever meet. Our RVP. I'm sorry. She's still an RVP, right? That's our RVP. They recruited us, right? But they actually moved all the way to Texas and got their RVP promotion. So if you guys can get up off your feet and welcome the unstoppable, the awesome Jay-Z.
Thank you. Let's hear me okay? Give it up for your trainers tonight, guys. Wow, what an amazing training. What a way to close out May. Man, Tony, Orlando, you guys brought the heat. Jay, what a great activity blitz. I really hope you guys were participating because it's moments like this that really do take the pressure off from when you're at home trying to figure out who you're going to call next, right? So again, just a quick reminder, we are still on the Ruby run. This is all hands on deck. Orlando and Tony both talked about tracking where you want to go and what you want to do, and knowing those numbers is so important. So make sure you're on track. This is a team effort, right, guys? And I love closing. I think it's such an honor, and more than anything, I think all the other speakers can agree, when you're presenting, when you're asked to present in front of a group like this of people who are hungry and really going after goals, it's a good reminder for ourselves too, right? So what I want to do as we close out the month is take a look at, exponential growth, and maybe what's keeping you from doing maybe some of the activities we did tonight that you're not consistent with, or you haven't done something like that. So I want to talk to that specifically. And more than anything, right, give you a vision. So for those that don't know me, I actually, right before I got licensed with Primerica, I got certified as a health coach. So I bring a lot of my coaching background to my team and to you guys. So if you're already taking notes, I'm going to walk you through some self-discovery so that you can go home and actually put this into action. But more than anything, I want you to ask yourself, what do you want to remember? How do you want to remember 2023? Because, we're almost halfway through the year, if you can believe it. We're coming up at the end of May, pretty much the first half is gone. And there's so much that you can do with your time. I love how Tony brought it in, saying, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can, you're also right. So it's all about mindset and perspective. And really, don't count yourself out. You've got 2 whole days left in the month, right? But also there's so much time left in the year to really go after your goals. An example for you guys, in July 2022, Ozzy and I went to the convention in Atlanta, which is coming up quickly, right? I can't believe it. But we committed and resolved to not go back home without really working towards our RVP run. We had said it, sometimes, who knows, you have to commit and recommit sometimes, right? Like we set a goal, we don't hit it, we got to try again. That's what sets us apart from everybody else, is that getting up and trying again. So we had gotten our jersey and we said, man, we're really going to go for it. We're done messing around. COVID is in the past, all these excuses. We're going to go for our RVP run. And 3 months later, guys, we got our RVP contract. So you're going to hear people say you're 30, 60, 90 days away from getting that contract. And it's true. It's exactly what happened to us. Okay. So don't count yourself out. If that is your goal, man, there is still so much time. If you are listening to my voice, you've got breath in your lungs, there is so much time to get a lot of stuff done. So what I'm going to do with you guys, I said I do an exercise. I'm going to put a little money in your hands. Okay. So what would you guys do if all your bills were paid, all your expenses were paid, and you had an extra $2,500 in your pocket? And does that sound good to anybody right now? Right? Where you can actually use it for something that you want, not something you need, because all of your needs are met. So I'm going to walk this through with you guys just to visualize it for you. So if you're taking notes, I want you to make a line down the middle of your paper. It doesn't matter if it's horizontal or vertical. We're going to make 2 lists. And Brian, shout out to our RVP, Brian, he actually did this exercise with us at an RVP boot camp in 2020. And it just really resonated with me because I'm big on like visualizing and seeing it and breaking it down. So if you're like me, I think you're going to like this. So let's say you're making $100,000 a year in Primerica. This is how this is going to break down for you, right? That's averaging about $2,500 a month, right? So off the top, we're going to give Uncle Sam what is due to Uncle Sam. Take $500 off of that, which leaves you with $8,000. Now, we're big on practicing what it is that we teach our clients. So we're going to save some of that money. Let's say we put away $1,500. I mean, even right there, how amazing would it be to put away $1,500 a month, right? Because invested over 20 years, that's a cool million. How many people want that in their bank account, right? That we practice what we preach. So we're putting away $1,500. That leaves us with $6,500 left over. Now, let's say, everybody's got different rent and more. Let's say you got a mortgage, your taxes, all of that comes out to about $2,000. That leaves it with $4,500. Now, let's also say you're an RVP, right? Once you get to RVP, you're going to have your own office and pay for that space and want to treat your team to taco parties and all the things that Brian and Jamie do, right? That Teresa do. So let's say we set about $1,000 aside for your RVP responsibilities. That's still $3,500 left over. Now we take a look at, okay, what about food, insurance, utilities, all the little extras? Guys, that's $2,500 left over. That if you already are having your needs met, like what else do you want? Like our cars are paid for, so we don't pay on a car note, but if you want a brand new car, you got $2,500 left over, you could do that. You want to travel, you want a new wardrobe, you want to, donate money to a favorite charity. And this is on the low end, right, guys? Because how much money is really being made out there in Primerica? This is on the low end. So this is how you can design and say, well, man, what does it really break down to? Can I really have that much, right? Because when you have too much month left at the end of the money, it's stressful, right? It's so stressful. You can't keep your head on straight. You don't know how you're going to get ahead. But if you just stick with it and stay consistent, there's nothing you can't do here, right? So on the other side of the paper, I want you to write down what's keeping you from achieving this type of income a month, right? Is it faith? Do you feel like you're never going to get out of your situation? Because again, like Tony said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. Is it vision, right? Maybe you're in here because you want to make an extra $1,500 a month, right? And we talked about this last time. But then you meet somebody who completely replaced their income, and that sounds a little bit better until you meet Brian, who's making 10, 12, 15,000 a month. And that sounds like a definitely a step up, right? And then you meet someone like Carlos at the office next door, or Nate making 50 grand, or hello, Jen and Teresa Taylor, right? You got to stretch your vision. You got to aim for something higher, because don't get me wrong, an extra $1,500 a month is great, but why not build a life and a legacy for your family? See, it's all possible here, but you want to anchor yourself to that vision so you don't give up when the days are hard, right? Consistency, that's something that we sometimes struggle with when it's in the beginning and we're self-employed, right? I had a recruit once tell us straight up, like, I just don't do well without someone like making me come into the office or making me clock in. Like she needed someone to stand over her and boss her. Like she couldn't do it on her own, but we self-regulate ourselves, and consistency is a big part of that. Coachability, right? We just did an amazing activity blitz, right? I hope you guys took advantage of that team effort, right? How many times do we sit down when we've got a role play or we got to make a list or get uncomfortable and we're sitting there with our arms crossed, like, I'm not going to do that. I really don't know anybody, right? Like that coachability, we want to lean into. We want to make sure that we're taking advantage of people who've already paved the way for us. Maybe it's skill building. Maybe you're afraid to take that leap, or maybe it's your time. You end up doom scrolling on social media for hours when you could be prospecting like you said you would. Maybe it's mental toughness. Somebody quit on you. Somebody said no, and suddenly you're thinking this whole thing over, thinking it's not for you. Guess what? Everybody gets told no in this business. There's no such thing as getting a yes all the way to the top, right? Again, expanding maybe you already went through your list and you're thinking, I've got no one else to talk to. You got to get uncomfortable and create a new one, right? or outside influences, maybe family is doubting you, maybe you're just distracted, it's a holiday weekend, well, my friends are going to the beach, the weather's nice. Like, there is something that's keeping you from working towards your goals. And I don't know what that is, guys, but if you see that, I want you to write it down, I want you to circle it and resolve to lean in, because what you resist will persist. If you're struggling, you're feeling stuck, like, man, I really want to get ahead, I'm not reaching my numbers, I said I was going to be district, and somebody says, well, you got a prospect, and you feel that resistance, you're not going to get through that other side without pushing through it. It's going to keep, right? You're looking for another answer. Well, what else could I do? What if I read a book? Like, that's all great, but it's not going to get you the 3x3. Right? What you resist persists. So I just, I love that we compete. I love that we do pie in the face. I love that we do all that. But when you go to bed at night after training, it's you versus you. There's no one else looking after your shoulder. You know if you gave it 120% at the end of the day, or if there was more gas left in the tank, right? So you got to keep that in mind. In this business, it's you versus you. So without a commitment, you're never going to start. If you think like, yeah, it's a great idea to hit district, you're not going to start. But if you're committed to do whatever it takes, you're going to start. But guess what? Without consistency, you're never going to finish. So I want you to resolve to take a look at what is holding you back from that next level. You never know what's possible until it's done. So I am so excited, you guys, for the end of the month. I know we have a lot of gas left in the tank to really go out and make it happen. We got 2 teammates that got licensed this month. One of them is on her own writing business. Like, it's so amazing to see when they're actually, believing in themselves as much as we believe in them. So I'm going to leave you guys with the video. I really want you guys to take this to heart. I think everybody can accomplish whatever goal you wrote down at the beginning of training. And I'm just so proud to be business with you. So here we go.
If you go to the gym and you work out and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. And if you go to the gym the next day and you come back and you look in the mirror, you will see nothing. So clearly there's no results, can't be measured, it must not be effective. So we quit. Or if you fundamentally believe that this is the right course of action and you stick with it, you commit yourself to the regime, the exercise. But if you stick with it consistently, I'm not exactly sure what day, but I know you'll start getting into shape.
If you hit an oak tree 1,000 times, in 1,000 different spots, what's going to happen? Absolutely nothing. But if you hit an oak tree 1,000 times in the exact same spot, you know what's going to happen? You're going to bring it down. You're going to do the impossible.
People put out goals, dreams, and aspirations and what they want to accomplish, but you very rarely hear people say what they're willing to sacrifice in order to make it happen. They'll tell you the goal, the dream, the aspiration. They'll tell you they want to be great, but they're not going to say, I'm going to stop going out on Friday night. They're not going to say I'm going to sacrifice and I'm going to stay late.
I don't hang with people who can only get up when they got something to motivate them. That's not somebody I want to hang out with. I want to hang with somebody, I don't care what the circumstances, I don't care what the situation. You put it on your back and you like, let's go. Bro, you hear me? You gotta have that dog. I gotta clear my mind of some stuff, but when I get up there, I gotta do what I gotta do. Why? Because success is not a failing, it's a mindset.
You have to commit to becoming better. You have to commit to being a person of action. You have to commit to being someone who doesn't just talk, but follows through. You have to plan ahead, and by planning ahead, you have to create a life in your head that is so fucking great that even if you fall short, you're gonna be better than everybody else.
Your problem is you start something, you stop it. You start something, you stop it. You feel good, you do it. You don't feel good, you quit. Stop doing stuff in January that you know you're not gonna do in March. I'm just saying, whatever you do, be on time and be consistent. People who do stuff consistently and on time, they surpass people who talented and gifted. Sometimes it ain't about being the most talented. Sometimes it ain't about being the smartest. Sometimes it's about consistency. Consistency, just keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it and never stop and never give up and never quit and keep doing it day after day, play after play, second after second.
You should work every day like somebody's working 24 hours a day to take it away from you. If you're not working to get better on a daily basis, if you're not pursuing the fulfillment of your own true potential, you are losing. You're either getting better or you're getting fucking passed by people who are. Every time you kick back and you think you're the greatest and you think you're the and you think you're the best at what you do, there is somebody that's 1 inch behind you that gets better than you.
If you do this morning, noon, and at night, it's gonna happen. The only way it doesn't happen is you're not focusing on it and you're not giving it energy. So even if you're better than me, it doesn't matter. If I'm putting energy out in the world is gonna respond, because if I put energy on it, there ain't no way it's not gonna happen. The only way I'm not going to be the best is if I'm not out there.
You're acting like doing well is an option. That's not an option. Show up. That means I come every single time on time. It means every time I come, I put in 120% or I don't come. Why? Because I'm trying to be the best. Every single day you wake up, if you're going to have energy, if you're going to have drive, every day you wake up, you got to start with that vision.
People look at those of us who are successful like we superhuman. We're not. We're normal people like you. The only difference is we wake up with clarity. We wake up knowing exactly what we want. We wake up knowing exactly what our purpose is. When you understand what you're after, when you know what your outcomes are, when you know what you desire, you wake up every single morning and you go after it. And if you're not willing to do it every single day, you're not going to beat the man that's doing it every single day. I'm not the best, but they have not outworked me. I'm not the best. I'm a beast. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing.
Good job, baby, to that close. We go real quick. Go ahead. All right. If you're on team 2, well, if you're on team 1, you can get up and you can line up for pieces. Leave your chairs. Leave your chairs. The losers on team 2, we got to pick up y'all chairs. Okay. So if you're team 1, you can get up. You can line up for some